Welcome to our channel. Please subscribe to our channel if you like our content. Please also watch until the end to support us. Many thanks. One of the world's most prolonged and contentious conflicts, the Israel-Palestine dispute, is rooted in historical, religious, and political complexities. Spanning over a century, it involves issues of nationalism, territorial claims, and religious significance. Understanding the genesis and evolution of this conflict requires a journey back in time, reflecting upon key events and decisions that have shaped the present-day situation. Historical roots. Zionist movement. Born in the late 19th century in Europe, Zionism aimed at creating a national homeland for Jews in Palestine. Theodor Herzl, its founder, saw this as a solution to the widespread persecution of Jews. British mandate. After World War I, the League of Nations granted Britain the mandate to govern Palestine. The Balfour Declaration of 1917 supported the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, leading to Jewish immigration and tensions with the Arab inhabitants. Partition and creation of Israel. In 1947, the UN proposed a partition plan, dividing Palestine into Jewish and Arab states with Jerusalem as an international zone. The Jews accepted, but the Arabs rejected the plan. Following the withdrawal of the British in 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the establishment of the State of Israel. This led to the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, where Israel fended off a coalition of Arab states but resulted in a significant Palestinian displacement, referred to as the Nakba, catastrophe, by Palestinians. The Six-Day War and its aftermath. In 1967, Israel fought a preemptive war against Egypt, Jordan, and Syria and emerged victorious in just 6 days. Israel captured the Gaza Strip, West Bank, East Jerusalem, the Sinai Peninsula, and the Golan Heights. The 1967 borders, or the Green Line, and the status of Jerusalem have since become central issues in peace negotiations. First and Second Intifadas. The First Intifada, which began in December 1987, was a significant turning point in the history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Fueled by the long-standing grievances of Palestinians under Israeli occupation and a deep-seated desire for self-determination, this uprising saw a wave of civil disobedience, protests, and strikes. One distinct feature of the First Intifada was the prevalence of stone-throwing by young Palestinians against Israeli military forces. As the Intifada progressed, the confrontations became more violent, with the use of Molotov cocktails and later firearms. The Israeli military response was substantial, leading to a high casualty rate among Palestinians. The conflict further drew international attention to the plight of the Palestinians and the intricacies of the Israel-Palestine issue. The Oslo Accords of the early 1990s brought a semblance of hope, promising a roadmap to peace. However, by 2000, with many of its key provisions unimplemented, disillusionment led to the Second Intifada. This uprising was markedly more violent than the first. It saw a wave of suicide bombings by Palestinians and a heavy military response by Israel, including targeted assassinations and large-scale military operations in Palestinian areas. The Second Intifada resulted in significant casualties on both sides and further deepened the mistrust between Palestinians and Israelis. Hamas and Fatah. The Palestinian political landscape is significantly defined by the two dominant factions, Hamas and Fatah. Fatah, the older of the two, was founded in the 1960s and has been the dominant force in Palestinian politics for decades. Led by Yasser Arafat for many years, Fatah has traditionally taken a more secular and nationalist approach. The Oslo Accords were primarily a Fatah-driven initiative. Hamas, on the other hand, emerged in the 1980s during the First Intifada. With a more Islamist orientation, Hamas was initially seen as a counterbalance to the secular PLO and Fatah. Over time, Hamas gained significant popularity, especially in the Gaza Strip, due to its resistance to Israeli occupation and its vast network of social and charitable services for Palestinians. The organization's military wing has been involved in numerous attacks against Israeli targets. The relationship between Fatah and Hamas has been tumultuous, to say the least. Their ideological differences and competition for leadership within the Palestinian territories have often led to conflicts. One of the most significant splits occurred in 2007 when Hamas took control of the Gaza Strip after a brief but intense conflict with Fatah. Since then, efforts at reconciliation between the two factions have been made periodically, but a lasting unity remains elusive. The division complicates the peace process as the two groups have different visions for the future of Palestine and methods of achieving their goals. Modern-day challenges. Continued Israeli settlements in the West Bank, security concerns, the status of Jerusalem, and the right of return for Palestinian refugees remain divisive issues. Periodic escalations, like the 2014 Gaza war and tensions in 2021, underscore the volatility of the situation. The Israel-Palestine conflict is not just about territorial disputes, it's a culmination of historical grievances, religious significance, and national identities. It remains one of the core challenges in international diplomacy, with peace, seemingly elusive, being the shared aspiration of people on both sides. For a lasting solution, mutual understanding, acknowledgement of past sufferings, and a genuine commitment to coexistence are imperative. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.